Blog Talk Radio.
Thanks for tuning in to Unscripted, presented by bUneke magazine, because an authentic life is unscripted. bUneke is a 501c3 charity that works today to change tomorrow. Learn more at our website, bUneke.org. That's bUneke.org. Did you know that bUneke is a free, non-profit publication? We work today to change tomorrow by bringing you truly amazing guests like the one we'll introduce tonight, and by highlighting stories about people all over the world who will astound you. The free digital version is available 24/7 at bUneke.org. That's bUneke.org.
Welcome, everybody. This is Mary Brotherton. I am your host on bUneke Unscripted. And tonight I have a very special guest. Her name is Jennifer East. She's actually my co-host. Jennifer and I had planned to make tonight an open mic night. So I'm going to give you my phone number so you can call if you're interested in speaking with us. But then I'll tell you something kind of funny. The number is 516-387-1756. And here's my embarrassing story for today. We had an actual guest planned for tonight, kind of a last-minute, hurry-up, guess who's coming to dinner kind of thing. And I failed to give his people the phone number to call in. And so I think we've missed the window on that. However, we're here, and I have Jennifer with me, and who knows what's going to happen with Jennifer. Hi, Jennifer.
Hey, Mary. So I'm wondering, girl, so what is actually in that blue and green dye all over your hair?
Well, it's plant-based. It's a vegan dye, and it's called Good Dye Young. So I guess I could actually eat it while I was dyeing my hair if I wanted to. But that's probably why.
That can't be the reason why you forgot to send the phone number.
No, that's not the reason I forgot to send the phone number. The reason I forgot to send the phone number is I didn't plan on having a guest here tonight. It's just going to be you and me talking about bUneke stuff, leaving the phone lines open if somebody else wanted to call in. And I had the opportunity last minute, actually it started yesterday, late afternoon, to speak with former Chicago Bears defensive end, I'm going to butcher his name, I'm sure. Somebody can call me and correct me, Israel Adonji. And we were going to talk with him and Angelique Power about something that they've got going on in Chicago, which is really kind of interesting. I wanted to hear more about it. We do have some information about it on our extra blog on our website, bUneke.org. As Anna says, that's bUneke.org. So I was really excited about having him come on the show and talk to us about the Fabric Impact House in Orlando. Got Orlando on my brain because I'm going to be in Orlando this weekend. Jennifer will be with me. We're doing, you want to tell them what we're doing?
We are participating in a really fun event. It's called Spirit Fest 2019. The organization that we are actually working with there is the Sanctuary for Mind, Body, and Spirit, and it's a lot of fun. Like if you have never been, you need to check it out because I think this is our third event with them. We've done Conscious Living with them. We did one other Spirit Fest event, and so we're really looking forward to it. There's some great people that you can meet. I think it's only $5, and there's speakers. There are some, I guess, some additional costs if you want to go to some of the workshops. There's a couple workshops, but they're really inexpensive. And then for the $5, that gets you in to all the vendors and some of the speakers. So it's a great, I think it's both Saturday and Sunday from 10 to 6. So it should be a lot of fun. And we'll be there. So
we will, and we're doing a presentation.
We are.
And
we
I know Jennifer and I are
slideshow done today.
Yep. We're going to talk about manifesting your dreams and explain some of how we've done that ourselves. The first 25 people who come into our workshop get a free gift. So if you are in the Orlando area, you might want to go check out sanctuaryfl.com. That's Sanctuary for Florida.com. And then click Spirit Fest. It's in the Malia Hotel in Celebration.
Yes.
It's a 2-day event. I'm kind of excited because one of our biggest supporters who's had some issues and has been away from us for a while is coming back to be at the table with us. I'm really excited.
I know.
About Lynn Dilks is joining us again, and it hasn't been that long, I'm sure, but it just seems like it's been forever since we've had her participating in anything other than just our little, surface type stuff. But we meet some really, really cool people, no matter where we go. I think the spirit stuff is really interesting, but we've met amazing people at things like Earth Day, the film festivals that you've gone to have been off the hook, So we've got other things coming up this month too, don't we?
We do. We also have Fusion Fest. So if you haven't participated in Fusion Fest, that's pretty exciting. That's the end of the month, the 30th and December 1st. That's happening in downtown Orlando. I want to say that's at the Dr. Phillips Theater.
That is correct. And that's a 2-day
Fusion
event.
Fest, it is, and it's actually definitely a fusion of cultures. So they'll have a film festival, which several of us worked on a really fun documentary. It's actually, I'm excited about showing it again. It was shown at the Global Peace Film Festival, and it'll also be shown again at the Fusion Fest Film Festival. And we also have Anna, she's with Coffee or Tea. She did a film as well. They'll all be shown. And Mary hasn't got to see it on the big screen, so this will be exciting to show her our film.
That's going to be so much fun.
Film. It is.
It was so much fun to do because Dr. Eldar was such a cool guy.
He'd be great to do a podcast with.
Yeah, he would, because he's got some interesting. He's not your typical. He's a plastic surgeon, is he?
Well,
he's kind of holistic.
He's a combination of East meets West. I think he does a combination of those. But his idea is to help people heal from the inside out, and so he wants to. We should. You know what? We're not going to spoil the surprise. Let's try and get him on a podcast, and then let him talk about his ideas for the future, because they are exciting. And then when we get to release his film, his documentary too, it'll also talk about what his visions are for the future. But I think
he would be a great guest because he's very personable.
He is.
A lot of doctors don't have that. They used to call it bedside manner. Don't know what they call it these days. But he's very, very interesting to talk with. He's got a lot going for him.
Mhm. Definitely.
Well, speaking of guests on our show, let me give you a little rundown of some of our upcoming guests. We've got to get Israel and Angelique back on. I'm going to talk to the publicist and get that going. Last week, we had Wyland, the conservationist, on. Next Thursday, we're talking with Doug White.
Well, I was going to say, Wyland, if you have the opportunity to listen to it, which you do, because all you have to do is go to bUneke.org and click on the podcast list and find Wyland. He's at the top. You got to check out his show. That was a great show.
He was very interesting, and he had a lot to say.
Yes.
And I love the fact that he knows some of the same people we know, like Ryan Hickman,
Yes.
Next week, we're talking with Doug White, who is a philanthropist. He has a book out. And I'm not going to spoil it, but I'll just tell you that. Week after that, we're not doing a show on Thanksgiving, but we're doing a show on Monday. And I will be talking with Jonathan Mooney, who's got a book that's called Normal Sucks. Jonathan was diagnosed late in life, or later than he should have been, probably with dyslexia. So he talks about how that affected his life. And then in December, we're talking with Angie Williams, who is just a sweet powerhouse of a woman. We're going to be talking with Masa Karimi about bullying, anti-bullying. Then we're going to talk with an actual exorcist. Angie Clark. Angie Clark is an exorcist.
Really?
And yes. Actually, we'll probably be seeing her this weekend. She usually goes to the spirit festivals. And then we're having another open mic the end of December, the day after Christmas. And we're booked through the middle of May. January, we're talking with one of the founders or the CEO. I don't have all my information in front of me, but Chris Kaiser is with Turf Mutt. And we did an article on Turf Mutt on Extra not too long ago. It's an organization that gets kids outdoors. Then we're also going to be talking with a man who is involved with Samaritan Aviation. He does flights of mercy to areas, usually they're in third world countries, like Bermuda, not Bermuda, but places that have been hit by disaster. Then we're going to be talking with Dr. Hurst Della Pietra, who has some interesting information about Instagram. I'm not going to give that one away either. That one I'm kind of excited about. Then we're talking with Dr. I think she's a doctor, Sherry Livingston, and she has an organization called Second Opinion. So if someone has been diagnosed with a terminal illness, diagnoses are not always 100%. And a lot of people have been hurt by being treated for something they didn't actually have. They have doctors who volunteer to do second opinions for people. And it's really a very cool organization. Now, you don't know this name. Her name is Brenda Palmer. But if I tell you who she is, I know it's going to bring a smile to your face, Jennifer. We met her at Walter Lane's Florida Steppers International all-white extravaganza. Her name that she goes by is Gabby. Do you remember Gabby?
I do. She was so much fun.
Yeah, she's going to be on our show at the end of January.
Well, I don't think you should give too much more away, because if we get too far into the future, people are going to tune out. But all of the things that you just said is amazing.
I think it's just so amazing. Yeah, I think it's just so cool to have all these people, because they're a big diversity. But I also
think it's
time for a commercial. What do you think?
Oh, I think that's a great idea. I need to breathe.
So, shall we listen to Anna or Colin?
Let's listen to Colin.
If you like the show tonight, let us know. Call 321-417-4309 or email mary@bUneke.org to ask how you can sponsor the show. It's simple and doesn't have to cost much at all. Visit bUneke.org for even more details. That's bUneke.org. Join the global world changers who already know how bUneke helps bring together like-minded humans who are making the world a better place. Read the magazine and blog posts, watch our videos, listen to our podcast, and visit our social media from one location, and let's work together. Change tomorrow by finding solutions today. Visit bUneke.org to learn more. That's bUneke.org.
Thank you, Colin. I am here with I don't even know what to call this woman. She's like my work wife. She's my work husband. She's my partner in crime. She's been my friend for many, many years. She's my co-founder at bUneke, Jennifer East.
You know what?
Tonight
You left out, though, Mary.
What did I leave out?
I'm your grounding partner.
Yes, you are. You are definitely my grounding partner. And I'll tell you what, folks, that is something cool to have. Somebody who helps you settle down when you're anxious or flying off with a million ideas and don't know which one to start with. You've got to have somebody that you can call and say, I'm losing it, help me. And that's what happens. I call Jennifer, or sometimes she'll call me or text me and say, let's Zoom. Let's talk. We got to fix this. And sometimes it's nothing more than, I don't know, the wind is blowing the west instead of east. But it's good to have somebody that can help you and understand you and not judge you. And that's one of the reasons that I love bUneke, because we attract people that think like we do, which means they're weird. We've been creating our own little tribe of weirdos. But that reminds me of Dominic Thompson. Do you remember the story we did about Dominic Thompson?
I do.
He wears a shirt. Well, he created a company called Eat What Elephants Eat. He is a vegan bodybuilder and has been for many years. I think all of his brothers are, and I'm not sure if they're brothers or just friends, but he posted a picture recently asking if we could, who's the oldest. There were 4 of them, and they're all phenomenal specimens of men, but he's a very gentle man. He's a very knowledgeable man about nutrition, and he created his company is called Weirdos and Freaks, not Eat What Elephants Eat. I think Eat What Elephants Eat is his food program, but the Weirdos and Freaks is the name of his T-shirt company. And he's a phenomenal human being, is all I can tell you. If you want to know more about him, flip back through some of our back issues of bUneke, and you'll find stories about him. And I would be remiss if I didn't mention Michelle Schaefer, our veggie shell. She writes almost all of our vegan stories and just finds the most amazing people to write about.
Speaking of vegan, I have to say something, Mare.
Yeah.
So I was talking to my brother this weekend, and he's diabetic, and he's been reading I guess a book. And I you can't quote me. I'm not exactly sure. I know he's the gentleman that he was reading the book. I want to say his last name's Foreman, but it's not the Foreman with the grill. It's a different Foreman. He's a doctor, and I think this book was from 2013. I want to say that it was written in like 2013. And anyways, Joe and I got in this conversation, and we were talking about veganism, and he said, that based on what this book was saying, they were saying that, the whole vegan thing is so bad for you. And I said, what? And he goes, yeah, because it's cutting out everything in your diet. So not only you're not eating meat, per this book, it was saying that vegans don't eat grains and they don't eat legumes and they don't eat seeds. And I went,
that's my diet.
No. Yeah, no, I was just like, exactly. The married diet is you can't eat anything except air and some spinach. But
yeah, spinach. For 2 weeks, I lived on spinach and lettuce.
And air.
That was fun, folks.
So I'm serious. So when I wanted to clarify that it really isn't. I mean, all veganism is that you are not eating animal products. Things, that are made.
I kind of wish I could be a vegan,
Oh, I know. Some people, it's difficult because of whatever their body makeup is or whatever their special diet needs and things like that. But I just wanted to clarify for those that are reading this book that my brother's actually reading, please know that, yes, vegan people actually eat all grains. They eat legumes. They eat everything. The only thing that they don't eat are animal products. So if it comes from an animal, or it's some kind of animal product, then that's off limits. But otherwise, you can eat anything else.
Honey's off limits. Eggs and egg products and butter, things that you may not think of as, they're not necessarily meat. A vegetarian doesn't eat the meat, but a vegan doesn't eat anything that comes from an animal. So they don't even wear silk, I don't think, because it comes from a silkworm.
Right.
But speaking, you made me think of another story that we covered. Do you remember when, I know you do, we did an issue that was all children. I think it was issue 7?
Yes. December last year, issue 7.
All children. And Haley Thomas was one of the people that we covered. She was like 12 or so when her father was diagnosed with diabetes. And she helped him not have to go on insulin and not need any medication. Their whole family went vegan. And she now has a company called The Happy Company, I think. Maybe it's just happy.com. But Haley is probably 18 by now. She goes to different schools and teaches children how to use vegetables and live with a plant-based diet and incorporate more vegetables and fruit into their diet. And she even goes shopping with youngsters in their neighborhoods because she says a lot of children in the more poverty-stricken neighborhoods don't always have access. They don't know how good a fresh apple might taste or how wonderful asparagus or a carrot is. So she takes them and she teaches them to cook and she teaches them to shop.
See, and I think what she's doing is even better than just talking to people or preaching at people. She's actually there doing what she needs to be doing. And when you get a kid involved in doing something, like they're actually physically using their hands and they're picking up the items themselves and then making it themselves, then they tend to, like my own children. I always remember, I was having a difficult time with kids and vegetables, and we started growing our own garden. We had our own garden, and my kids had such a sense of pride that they went out and picked their own vegetables, and then we put them in the pan, and they learned how to cook them themselves, and they were like, early elementary age kids. And then I didn't really have any problem after that. Even my son, my oldest son, he at one time would not eat anything green. That was really tough. For some reason, he just had this real weird thing about green. But then when he got to do it himself, and then I kept saying to him, I'm going to put it on your plate. It's going to be sitting there. It's going to be looking at you. You can try it if you want, but every single meal, it's going on your plate. And after a while, he decided to try it, of course, not with anybody watching him. And he decided he liked it. So by the time he was like age, I think 10, he was eating salad. And then he decided he didn't want to ever eat meat, and he stopped eating meat at,
Wow.
I think he was 10 or 11. Yeah, he was my first vegetarian. So out of 4 kids, I have one he's holding on to eating meat, but the rest and my husband, he kind of eats meat, but the rest of my family. That's why it's always interesting for like Thanksgiving, because we have a lot more vegetarian and vegan meals or vegan dishes. So
yeah.
But I love that. I love that how Haley is not just, like I said, preaching. She's actually teaching, and I love that she.
Yeah, and you find that sometimes, when someone who has converted or changed their lifestyle dramatically, whether it's a vegan, a drug addict, a smoker, an alcoholic, or somebody who's lost a tremendous amount of weight, not all, I'm not speaking for every human in the world, but a lot of times these people become zealots, and they preach it, and they want everybody to do what they do, I mean, I would love for the whole world to subscribe to bUneke, and I would love if everybody who read it donated money to make it possible for us to do more. But I know that's unrealistic. But religious people and people who have a very strict lifestyle tend to go, do what I do. But when you've got someone like Haley, who she's not using shock tactics, she's not trying to scare people into being a vegan, she's just showing them gently how good it can be for them, and letting them make their own decisions. I think, what is that expression? You get more flies with honey than you do with vinegar.
Well, I think honestly, that's what a lot of bUneke is about. Is that we aren't trying to shove things down people's throats. We're actually just showing them options, and in a positive way. Right. Because we have enough negativity out there. You turn on the news, or it's, sometimes I'll avoid the news altogether for a couple of days, and every once in a while I'm like, okay, I guess I better take my head out of the sand and see what's going on. And then you go there and you just get so depressed. And
nope, I leave my head in the sand.
Do you?
I don't care if my head's in the sand. I stick it in there because I don't want to know what. And this started. It actually started when the World Trade Towers were destroyed.
Oh, I know. Mm-hmm.
I was unable to pull myself away from the television, and then I was unable to do anything. I was really paralyzed. Mm-hmm. And after that, I made a promise that I would not watch the news ever again. And I always said, and somebody always, they ask me, well, how do you know what's going on in the world? I said, I have very few trusted sources that I know will tell me the truth. My mother will call me. My 2 sons will call me. Or my husband will call me. And if those 4 think it's important, all 4 will call me, and then I'll turn on the news. But if those 4 haven't called me at the same, about the same news item, it's not important enough for me to worry about. And that's just the way it's been for 20 years.
I guess I would say that I'm not as diligent like in that way, because I do occasionally I will listen to it. I think because like today I got a phone call from a friend in LA, and she said, have you heard the news? And I didn't, but her children were in a school close to where the shooting took place. And so she was just like how you felt, where you were paralyzed. She said that she couldn't do anything today. She actually canceled all of the things that she needed to do, and all she wanted was to rush and grab her kids and bring them home. So, I mean, I didn't even know what was going on, because I haven't been really tuned in this week because I took a break. But, if you're constantly inundated with the negativity of everything that's going on, it's like it just brings you down, you know. So
and I hear so many people tell us how much they love bUneke because it's very positive.
Yes. Not to say that life is just, you know, rainbows and sugar cubes and things like that, but you know, if you're going to spend the time, what little time you do have, and you want to read something that's going to help uplift you, and I love the term elevated content, because it does. It's content that hopefully will inspire you. And when we all are living in a you know, with a sense of inspiration and hope, it just helps you want to get out of bed in the morning, you know. And knowing that there's people out there that actually genuinely care. So, yeah.
And I would like to say, for our podcast listeners, good news. We are starting to have our writers record their stories. So
that's right.
We are going to be presenting audio magazine, I guess is what we would call it. We haven't quite worked out all the details, but that's the plan. We're working toward this, so stay tuned. It's exciting, I think, to have another avenue. I'm going to punch a button, and let's let our listeners listen to Anna for a minute.
Let me ask you a question. Do you prefer coffee or tea? This is a question we ask on our fun and informative millennial talk show called Coffee or Tea, No Phones Allowed. And why do I know? Because I'm Anna. I'm one of the co-hosts. It's a great time. It's a professionally edited weekly series that's free to watch on bUneke's YouTube channel. That's bUneke. Be sure to subscribe so you don't miss a single episode, and leave us a comment with your topic or guest recommendations. We love hearing from you.
We're back. This is Mary Brotherton. I'm here with Jennifer East. We're talking about everything we can think of that has to do with bUneke. And I want Jennifer to talk a little bit about what you can find on our YouTube channel in addition to the coffee or tea episodes that Anna talked about. But start with the coffee or tea. How many episodes do we have now, Jennifer?
We are up to 41 episodes. That's 2 seasons worth.
And how come you know that and I don't?
Because I edit them. I directed them and edited them, yes. But I'll tell you, you know, we were talking about uplifting. That's a great way, honestly. You can go to YouTube, and if you just have a spare, you know, 15 minutes, 10 to 15 minutes, it's great to catch an episode here or there. They're a lot of fun. We have guests that come on. We also have, you know, just topics that they pull out of the jar and discuss. And it's just a good time. And if you're looking for a new series to check out our coffee or tea show. It's easy. It's at bUneke Magazine on YouTube. So do I need to spell that out? We all know how to spell magazine. And bUneke is bUneke. Makes it super easy. bUneke. So check that out. In addition to coffee or tea, you'll also find when we attend some of the events around the area, we do an event wrap-up, and those are a lot of fun to watch. There's a lot of good information. We also have interviews with people, selected people, so you can go through and check out interviews with very interesting folks. What else do we have?
I was going to ask you to give an example of some of the things that Megan and Emily have done.
Oh, well, okay. So Emily visited a place that's called the Cat Cafe. It's in the middle of Florida. And literally you can sit there and play with kitties while you drink your coffee or tea. And I think that one, that's the first one in Florida that they created. We also headed out to this place called Caddy Shack, which is an animal. It's a it's a animal sanctuary rescue location. They specialize in big cats. So there's a lot of tigers. And when I talk about tigers, these are their forever homes. So these animals were all rescued, and none of them that I know of were wild. They were all born in captivity, and they were all used for a variety of different things. Some were even just quote-unquote pets, which I can't even imagine after actually being there and being so close. They're gigantic. Like when Superman, you guys have to check it out, but there's one video, and Emily's really funny. She's a kick. And so I don't even know if I want to spoil it, but
Spider-Man, not Superman. The cat's name is Spider-Man.
Was it Spider-Man? Okay, Spider-Man. She got a little too
don't
close
spoil
to Spider-Man.
You really,
I won't.
You really have to go watch it and see what Spider-Man does with Emily. It's pretty hilarious.
It is. So I mean, it's very informative and it's fun to watch. Now, as far as Megan did Maker's Faire, which I didn't know anything about Maker's Faire or what it was, and now I definitely do know. But it's a lot of fun. You get to go and see what a maker. Let's see, they don't call it a Maker's Faire. The fair itself is their big
maker
event that they
space.
do. Maker
It's
Space.
called the Maker
Yes.
Space.
Yes.
I didn't know those things existed.
I didn't either. And when we went and you get to actually play with all of the equipment, you can create stuff. So even if you're not a creative person, it's super inspiring. You just want to go and play with everything because they have all these really cool toys that are like big boy and big girl toys. And,
like a laser printer.
A laser printer, button makers, screen printers, embossers,
3D printer is what I meant to
machines. Say. Yeah, 3D machines. They have all sorts of stuff, and they have people there. I guess on Fridays you can go and experiment and see if it's something you want to buy a membership into. There were people there that were making things that look like actual Star Wars spaceships and stuff. It was really cool. I was really impressed. Really nice folks there too. So check out that video. That's a great video to check out as well. So there's lots of things on there, and that's why we definitely need more subscribers so that we can continue making these videos. We're getting the views, but we need the subscribers, and it doesn't cost you anything. It's just a click.
Just click the button that says subscribe.
Exactly.
And, I subscribe to a lot of YouTube channels to show my support for their material. I don't watch them every day. I don't get spam mail from them. It's just nice to know that I can click a button and say, hey, I like what you've done. Yes.
And all that's doing is that's really helping advertisers then look at that and say, wow, these guys have a following, and so let's support them. So anytime that you go and you actually follow or subscribe to different organizations and things like that, it's just showing that you support what they're doing. And it doesn't cost you a penny, but it helps them out tremendously.
And, I don't know if my brain just went into another world, but it's back now. Jennifer and I actually met when we both worked on a typical standard newspaper. And that's a different life. People say that print is dead, and it may be dead, but it's not. I mean, maybe it was sick for a while, but it's not dead. I don't think it'll ever go away. People like that feel of print. However, today's marketing climate is different. There used to be where you go and sell ads or buy subscriptions, and that's sustained a newspaper. That's one of the reasons why newspapers did go into a slump, because people were subscribing digitally. They didn't need the printed paper. For us, it's all about the social following, and for a lot of other creatives too. we are like so many people that are creative. We have a Patreon page, and we're looking for patrons, and we're looking for a little guidance. If somebody wants to help us find a way to make our mark in the world, we'd be more than happy to let you do that. We're always looking for volunteers. Jennifer and I volunteer every minute of our life just about to Be Unique. It's very rare for us to not be writing, editing, laying out, or talking about this organization because we believe in it so much. And what we're hoping to do is ignite that same kind of passion in a couple thousand million other people. You know, we'll take what we can get.
No, remember what Wyland said? What did Wyland say? It's easy to ask for 1,000. He said, but why not go for 1 million?
Why not go big? Yeah, he said, why
go big?
And if you don't know who Wyland is, he created the Whaling Walls, these big, gigantic, life-size murals of whales. And he gave them to 100 cities. You have to listen to his podcast to see what he gave to a hotel in Seattle. Amazing. But Wyland sells his artwork for tens of thousands of dollars. And then he gives that money, or some of it at least, to help marine conservation. Also, he's helping with land mammal conservation, the big five that are in danger of going extinct. But he said, yeah, you know, anybody can think, oh, if I could only get 1,000 followers. He said, why not look for 1 million followers? Why stop at 1,000? Why stop at a postage stamp painting when you can paint a wall?
Or a boat. He did a ship.
Or a boat, a ship. I'm going to take another break, and I'll be right back with Jennifer.
Okay.
I'm inspired to give back by the many individuals who are making a difference and taking steps to make the world better. Many people are tackling problems by themselves and thinking they are all alone in their efforts to make a change. I want them to know they are not going unnoticed. The world is watching. I'm part of a team helping to project their voices on a global scale. Small charities and solo entrepreneurs are doing amazing things but don't have the budgets to market themselves. Like many people, I once struggled in a variety of jobs I didn't care for, so I decided to find a new way to give back, to pay it forward, and to be the change. While some people my age are considering retirement, I've joined other professionals to create and manage a nonprofit organization called PEACECORE. The words that create our name tell only a small part of our giving story. We are philanthropists, educators, activists. We are compassionate, evolving, charitable, optimistic, responsible, and enthusiastic. We created PEACECORE so we can use our natural talents to help others. We work with nonprofits, individuals, and for-profit organizations that have a philanthropic outlook. PEACECORE uses several tools to give a voice to those that otherwise might not be known outside their small local circles. Be Unique magazine is released monthly and printed on demand. This digital interactive publication doubled in size within 5 months. During that same time, it attracted almost 60 volunteers from 12 countries and across the USA. These volunteers are professionals. They're performers and writers, editors, researchers, videographers, photographers, crew members, and so much more. Coffee or tea, no phones allowed? This fun show is hosted by millennials and provides insight into what they're thinking, but it's by no means intended to appeal only to that generation, as evidenced by their topics and their guests. Because our volunteers know that we are giving 100% of our beings to this organization, they are meeting us on our terms. Nobody earns anything. Yet we all work as if we are earning six-figure incomes. That is the epitome of giving. Curating the stories and creating a high-quality literary-style publication that not only highlights the good work of others, but projects positivity and inspiration gives me purpose. By giving myself to this organization, others want to give to Peace Corps. We have created a global giving circle.
Welcome back. I do not know if Jennifer and I are sitting here talking to ourselves or not, and it's okay because Jennifer and I love talking about bUneke so much. We probably talk about it in our sleep, and our husbands probably are tired of it. But I'm hoping that there are people out there listening. If you want to call in, please do. The phone number is 516-387-1756. We'd love to hear from somebody other than us. But while I've got the microphone, I'm going to mention that Giving Tuesday is coming up, and we would love to have your donations. It's a good time to make a tax-deductible donation to an organization that is making a difference in the world. And besides, my gas tank is empty. But let's see. What else can we talk about, Jennifer?
Let's see. Oh, we are going to be helping an organization called, well, let me say it officially here. It's Save Green Gables, Melbourne's Bridge to the Past. It's a house, actually, in Melbourne, Florida, and you can read the entire story in the current issue of bUneke, so I'm not going to go into the whole story, but what we've decided to do is we're going to be doing a documentary to help save Green Gables, and we don't want to see this beautiful old Victorian home torn down and turned into a Wawa gas station. So we, we have a wonderful production team, and we're all volunteers, of course, and we want to do something to help it, and we're all professionals. And so we're really excited next month to go into production, and we hope to release that really soon so that people can learn more about Green Gables and save this beautiful piece of history. It was actually, the house was finished being built in 1859, I think. Is that right, Mary? That sounds about right. And
that
so,
sounds right.
I mean, I can't even imagine letting a house like that go. And it's got artifacts in there. They give historical tours, but the house is really in disrepair. It needs help, and it needs money, and it needs to be saved. So be on the lookout. We'll be releasing that, of course, on our YouTube channel and wherever else we can release it. So I'm really excited about that. Let's see. What else do we have going on? Tell us about the upcoming issue. What are we going to get to see in the December issue? Which will be our issue 14.
Issue 14 is pretty, well, you know what? I'm biased. I'm like a mother. I'm like the little old lady who had there was an old woman who lived in a shoe. She had so many children she didn't know what to do. Well, that's how I am with I call them my stories. These stories about so many people that just absolutely blow my mind. Every issue that comes out, I tell Jennifer, oh my gosh, this is my favorite issue. And she just looks at me with those eyes and says, Mary, you said that last month. Michelle has done something called a Very Vegan Winter. And it's like a countdown. It's really, really cool. Marcy wrote an article about Animal Action I don't know how to pronounce it. Guangzhou. It's like Chinese or Korean. I can't remember. She said she cried when she was doing the interview.
Wow.
Anna has written something about the lessons that she's learned in her travels. Anna, folks, is our globetrotter. She is 24?
Yes.
Is that right, Jen? She's 24 years old. She's already been to Japan. She's on her second trip to Japan. She's been to China.
No, her fourth trip.
Fourth?
This is her fourth trip to Japan. She lives there. she's lived in Shanghai. She lived in for a season in Alaska. She visited for a month to Africa, South Africa.
She was in two different countries there.
She did, and she actually, if you've never been or really understood what happens with the Peace Corps, where they're actually building for, I guess it's all like sustainable stuff. Like they're helping people exist wherever the location is. And so she was with her friend who she's going to be with the Peace Corps for 4 years. I want to say 4 years. I originally thought it was 2, but
right. It's like a military.
It's been longer than 2 years now. Yeah. And so she lives in a hut. So Anna got a real taste of life without anything. You live in a hut. Like she was so cute. She had like 3 things that she hung on hangers, but they were hangers that she created out of sticks, and she made it strung a wire over the top of her head so she could hang her clothes up because she got tired of them being on the ground because it's just dirt floor. It's in the hut, stuff like that, and her electricity or to charge up her cell phone. She has a cell phone. She used a car battery and a solar panel. And they were able to wire it up so that she could have one light bulb to put in so that she could have light at night so she can paint and read and then charge her cell phone. But Anna got a real dose of how life could be for other people and other cultures, and so it's super interesting. But anyway,
her article,
how to get onto that?
Her article this month is about her travels,
her journey,
and what she's
learned. Nice.
Somebody that is going to be on a podcast a little bit later on in next year wrote this book. And is that not the most adorable face? Her name is Suzanne Rout. I don't know how to pronounce it. Rout. But anyway, she wrote an article. It's a biography of her wild and precious life. It's a very easy read, and I cannot wait to talk to her. She has lived many years in both Maine and in, I forget which country, Zambia, I think. Maybe not. But other things that we've got coming up, I think this issue is kind of like our hope issue. We've got Classroom of Hope, Hearts of Hope, and Hope Dealers. 3 stories right there with hope in it. And we've got new writers this month, which I'm really excited to share with everybody. We've got, Graydon. I'd forgotten. Graydon's a new author. He talks about zero waste. And Martin has written 2 great stories. One called Food Not Bombs. The other one's The Fresh Bus. And everybody is writing some amazing, amazing stuff. Robert Shaw up in Canada is writing about the human giant. That's a very cool story. And
see, and think about it, guys. This is for free. Like, you can go and click on, as soon as it's released, and any of the past issues, you can click on them and read them anytime, 24/7. It's available. We're not asking you to sign up and give your Social Security number or anything like that. You don't even have to sign up your email.
Nope. What I love about it is it's not just that the stories make you feel good; they teach you.
Yes.
Like the story in the issue 13 that Janie wrote, I forget her last name, about the elephants. The Elephant Sanctuary was such a great story. And a lot of our stories
I want to go.
I can't wait to get to some of these places. I want to go to the Alcatraz Museum in Kentucky.
Yes.
Is it Kentucky? There's so many things. Tennessee. Oh, I don't know where it is, but if we do go to Tennessee, we have to stop.
When?
When we go to Tennessee to the Alcatraz Museum, do you remember where it is? Now I have to go check out Extra because I want to know. Because we have to go visit Linda Humphrey, one of our writers.
Yes.
We have writers in 19 different countries and about 11 different states, I think. I'm scrolling here. We just recently did an article on our Extra page about the boy who harnessed the wind. The author.
Tell people about the Extra page because they may not know what that is.
Extra is it's our blog basically. It's back in the old days when Jennifer and I were, much younger. People would put out extra editions of newspapers, and they would yell extra. I mean, I'm talking even before my mother was born. I think extra,
I was gonna
extra.
Say, girl,
read all about it.
That's in the 1800s.
Yeah.
Early 1900s.
Before my grandmother was born. But they yell extra, read all about it. You can get a newspaper for a nickel or less. And we took that theme to make our blog. Instead of just saying the bUneke blog, we call it Extra. And it's where we put things that are either stories too long to go in the magazine or it comes in too late for deadline. And so we've got so many amazing stories. And the one that's brought me here to this page tonight was Alcatraz East. It's a museum in Pigeon Forge. And Pigeon Forge, if I'm not mistaken, is not very far from where Linda Humphrey lives. So we have to go visit her. Yes, it is Dollywood.
You want to go to
She lives in a little town called Nyota.
See, I have family that lives up there too.
Do you?
Yeah, not too far from there. So, Mary, did you know that we're just a couple minutes away from having to say goodbye?
Yes, I know.
So can I say to you, like you say to everyone, is there anything that you want our listeners to know?
I want our listeners to know that you can achieve anything you want. You can make your dreams come true. You don't need to let age affect you one way or the other. We have written stories about people as young as 3 who are making a difference in the world. And I don't remember anybody any older than me that we've written about, but I'm sure we have. But it doesn't matter if you're of retirement age or if you're in a wheelchair or using a walker, wherever you are in life. Because, that reminds me, we also did an entire issue on people with different abilities. Like, you don't sit back and say, oh, I'm not smart enough. Or, oh, I don't have X, Y, Z, or Q, so I can't do this. Because we did an issue on people that have different abilities. There were stories about people with Down syndrome and stories about people with one limb that, they were born different and they had no arm or no leg or a piece missing, and that doesn't stop them from achieving their dreams.
So they need to check out all of these issues.
Every issue of bUneke is my favorite.
There you go. So check out Mary's favorite issue.
Yeah,
which are all
check
of them.
Out all 14 of my favorite issues. So Jennifer, in 90 seconds or less, do you have anything you want to make sure our listeners know?
Just, check out bUneke.org, bUneke.org, because all the information is there. If you have suggestions, we are here. You can email us from the website, contact us, and give us your suggestions. And thank you so much for listening to this show. Thank you for being out there and stick with us. We're a fast-growing organization, and we really genuinely care for our volunteers and all the people that support us. And just thank you. Thank you so much for everything.
And I hope you enjoyed the show. And if you don't or didn't enjoy us bantering back and forth tonight, let us know that too. If you'd rather have a certain guest on or a certain topic, let us know. I may have to just pick out one of my favorite issues and start reading from front to back one night. So be careful. You're going to hear it anyway. Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Thank you for listening this evening. We're happy you chose to spend this time with us, and we hope you learned as much as we did. Be sure to come back the first and third Thursday of each month for more exciting guests, and if you'd like us to invite you or someone you know to speak right here, just go to bUneke.org and contact us there. That's bUneke.org.